everybody is actually looking forward to owning a house.
I was very, very happy when I got the allocation for the house.
Mortgage can actually work in Nigeria.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us again on another episode of the program, Everyone Deserves a Home, brought to you by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, showcasing its efforts towards providing affordable houses and mortgages for contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme. I am Aisha Mohammed Ahmed, your host. The Cooperative Housing Development Loan is a product of the FMBN that was created in a bid to meet the housing needs of more Nigerians. Many cooperative societies have come together to leverage on this product to provide houses for their members. Goldenlee Cooperative Society is one of the cooperatives that has taken advantage of this opportunity and provided houses for its members in the Federal Capital Territory. The story of how they achieved this feat is what we shall feature in this episode of the program. Later on, we'll also share the home ownership story of a beneficiary of the National Housing Fund scheme who became a homeowner in this same estate through the Cooperative Housing Development Loan. Join me after this timeout for the full episode of the program.
One, two. What? Stop! No, people. Don't go back.
Sorry, comrade. Thank you. As an up-to-date contributor of the National Housing Fund, I will advise you to just apply straight away for a mortgage loan. Yes, there are several types you could apply for. There is the rent to own a home loan. There is the cooperative loan. There are several of them. Instead of paying so much money to these Shylock landlords.
At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home.
Welcome back. Like always, we'll begin the program with news highlights from the diary of the FMBN and from around the housing sector. Don't go away. The Joint Implementation Committee of the NLC, TUC, NECA has called on the management of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria to be more proactive in its commitment towards providing affordable housing for workers in the country.
Once again,
the chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, represented by Comrade Benson Ukwa, who spoke on behalf of the committee, made the call during the first meeting of the committee with the new management of the bank. He pledged the support of the labour unions to the management of the FMBN in making sure houses are available for Nigerian workers.
Once again, accept our congratulations, accept our support unconditionally.
If labor sneezes, FMBN will catch cold.
Managing Director of the FMBN, Shehu Usman Osidi, in his response, thanks the labor union for maintaining a good relationship with the bank over the years. He said that the FMBN will continue to do its best to provide houses and mortgages for the contributors of the NHF scheme.
We want to thank you again for the support we have received so far and to assure you that we are not going to rest on our hours until the purpose of establishing the Joint Technical Committee and the Implementation Committee are met. We have commenced, on assumption of duty, we immediately commenced an assessment of all the projects across the country. Like you know, we started, I think, with 14 states, with NLC, TUC, and NECA projects in 14 states, where we were able to get allocation of land from the respective state governors. And then we also have, that has also been extended to other states. So what I want to assure this committee is that this new management will do the best it can to ensure that we properly profile these estates, assess the status of the respective estates with a view to completing these projects and ensuring immediate offtake by Nigerian workers. And this will allow us an opportunity to be able to also start new projects under the current dispensation.
The Managing Director of Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Shehu Usman Osidi, alongside the Executive Director, Loans and Mortgage Services, Dr. Muhammad Sani Abdu, and other management staff of the bank were at a abundant session of key agencies and stakeholders of the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development and the Ministry of Finance, hosted by the Honorable Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Architect Ahmed Musa Dengiwa.
Is the meeting of the Honorable Minister with...
The meeting had in attendance a delegation from the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Fund, MREF, the leadership of the Federal Housing Authority, the Q Shelter team, developers of the Renewed Hope Cities, and several other stakeholders. The meeting served as an avenue for the Ministry of Finance Incorporated to brief the ministry and its agencies on the MREF program and the progress made so far.
The demand for houses is ever increasing. Now that is established on one side. On the second side, we also find that entities that are involved in the delivery of housing units are struggling with a number of critical elements that they require. Now, having built this background, what does the MREF hope to attain? The first and most critical mandate for the MREF is to achieve long-term, low-cost mortgages for Nigerians at scale.
Presiding along with the Honorable Minister was the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Marcus Ogumbi.
From the inception of the ministry, when the Honorable Minister took charge of the ministry, it's been doing quite a lot, a number of things to ensure that we do not only provide housing, we provide quality housing, we provide affordable housing for the teeming Nigerian population.
The session provided an opportunity for participants to deliberate on key ways to harmonize the activities of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Real Estate Fund, MREF, within the broader mandate of the Housing Ministry and its agencies towards affordable housing delivery.
What we were hoping to achieve, and that is why we were interested in the question of how we intend to raise the fund, where is this money coming from, is that we thought, and because we are dealing with the broader segment of the Nigerian market, we know that this market is segmented. We know that the income levels are very low, and which raises a lot of issues around affordability. So we thought that we are going to be able to have some cheap funds that will be specifically deployed.
The latest couple in town.
Good day, sir.
How are you? Oh, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Drinks?
No, we're fine, sir.
How was the moon experience?
It was quite an experience.
How about house?
We are renting at the moment, but we intend to save enough to own our own house, right?
Why not avoid all those Shylock landlords and own a house up front? With the average income and cost of building houses today in Nigeria, mortgage is the best option. No sweat. I tell you what, that was how I got my first house, and I've never regretted it.
To make good homes, and by implication, a good society, an individual is expected to have an abode from which to take off and return at the end of each day. At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home. Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
Thanks for staying with us. The Cooperative Housing Development Loan, since its inception, is one of the products that the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has used to meet the housing needs of its customers. Many individuals, through their cooperatives, have become homeowners thanks to this product. In our next segment, we'll showcase a 100-unit FMBN funded estate through the Cooperative Housing Development Loan. Keep watching.
Cooperative Housing Development Loan was created in 2016 by the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria as a means of tackling the housing deficiency in the country by partnering with registered cooperative societies and providing funding for them to develop houses for members who are contributors of the National Housing Fund scheme. However, certain criteria must be met by these cooperatives to be able to access the Cooperative Housing Development Loan. They are: the cooperative must be registered. The cooperative must exist for not less than 12 months. The cooperative must have land with a title document to it. The cooperative must be accredited by the Risk Management Group of the bank. Must have a building plan, and members must be able to afford the houses amongst other necessary requirements. Goldenlee Cooperative is one of the cooperative societies partnering with the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in developing houses for its members. Located in Kurudu, Abuja, a 100-unit housing estate of one-bedroom terraces for the members of Goldenlee Cooperative Society has been developed and completed. The project was developed by Afra General Enterprises Limited.
It's actually a cooperative development housing loan project being anchored for the members of the Goldenlee Cooperative Society. It's actually an all-in-one solution to help cooperatives provide housing for their members.
The project manager of this project tells us what partnership with the FMBN is like.
The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria of recent, with their the current mortgage housing loans that they are offering, like the Cooperative Development Housing Loan, the rent to own and individual loans that are currently being processed by both developers and individuals. It has been a very wonderful project. First of all, the disbursements are always timely, I have to say that, and once the first tranche of disbursement is made and there is a supervision from the loans department of the Federal Mortgage Bank, the next approval is done and the disbursement and the project has been moving smoothly. So it is a very wonderful package by the Federal Mortgage Bank.
The project, which began in 2022, has been completed. A total of 474 million naira was approved and disbursed for the project. This was delivered in 4 phases.
The first tranche was actually for 30 housing units, as I said earlier. The second tranche was for 30 housing units plus infrastructure. Then the third tranche also came for 30 housing units with a little bit of infrastructure added to it.
As it is with all FMBN funded projects, infrastructure is a priority, and this is no exception. Electricity, water, internal road networks are all available as part of the project.
The infrastructures to be provided are internal roads, drainage, electricity. There's currently a 500 kVA standing, and then 2 industrial boreholes with street lights.
In all of these, the FMBN has remained resolute in quality delivery while emphasizing on affordability. One unique feature in this estate is that space has been provided for expansion so that when a beneficiary is financially capable, he or she can expand the house.
We must be innovative in identifying what are those things we can do to achieve affordability for our target market, who are usually the low and the medium income earners. So to do this, one, we are looking at, for construction finance, we are looking at the designs. We are coming up now with organic designs, what we call organic designs, where you have, for example, a 1-bedroom that can be expanded to a 2-bedroom, or a 2-bedroom that can be expanded to a 3-bedroom, or a 3-bedroom that can be expanded to a 4-bedroom as the income level of the individual beneficiary improves.
At the front of the building, there may not be much expansion, but towards the back, there is room for maybe attachment of 1 more bedroom, 1 more room to the current design. And those who have canopies also, they have more space to play with, such that they can expand the house in the future.
Because it is a cooperative housing development loan, off-takers for this project were selected from the cooperative and will be given their houses under the rent-to-own product.
We did an eligibility test for the applicants. The first criteria is that you must be a contributor to NHF and you must have contributed for at least 6 months. And then all the off-takers are members of the Goldenlee Cooperative Society. They have contributed to the NHF. So what we did was that we did an eligibility test to find out what their net pay and pay slip is currently like. We found out that those who have above 15 years had lesser repayment schedule and repayment amount. And mostly they were the ones that were pre-qualified for the project.
All is set in this project. Houses and infrastructure are completed and off-takers also ready to move in within the shortest possible time. When the inter-account settlement is all done, off-takers are expected to move into their homes.
What is the name of my grandson?
Suleiman.
That's a good name. May the Almighty preserve him.
Amen.
Now that your family is growing, this is the time for you to start thinking of a house of your own.
Abba, the thought of this has always been on my mind. To build a house now, you need a lot of money, and that is what is holding me back.
Sonny, what you need is a mortgage. NHF mortgage loan. With NHF mortgage loan, you own a house upfront and pay gradually over a long period of time.
Abba, I will go to the FMBN office right away.
Come join us at FMBN and let's shelter Nigeria together.
Thanks for staying with us. The expectations of the FMBN is to see many more cooperative societies take up such opportunities for its members so that they too can become homeowners, and it's already happening for some. In our next segment, we shall bring you the story of a contributor to the National Housing Fund scheme. Her dream of home ownership has been brought to life. Let's watch her share her story.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
Omowumi Alabi is a business owner residing in Ogbomoso. She became a homeowner by being a member of a cooperative society. She is the happy and proud owner of this 3-bedroom flat at Federal Housing Estate, Ibadan, Ogbomoso. She said the facility became hers after the payment of 5% of the entire cost of 8.1 million naira.
I joined the cooperative 2016, and since then we were informed about this. Actually, we were talking about renovation, but when that one was not coming forth, so this place came up. So my chairman just told us that, okay, what about this place? So that is how we just got it. So since 2016, we've been doing that. Because I remember, in fact, when I registered, I paid for a whole year. So the following year we paid as well.
She speaks of the various facilities available for their benefit at the estate.
Like light, water, the road, as you can see. When this environment is beautiful. It was when I was young that I do see, or maybe I used to see street lights. But coming to these environments avails us that opportunity, even for our children, as in, they are not growing up, they've never seen street light. But coming to these environments, when there is power supply, there's light. If you come to this place in the night, you see the beauty.
According to Omowumi, the opportunity to be one of the beneficiaries of this estate is one that she will treasure forever.
As we speak of today in this community or in this city, this environment, this community is still the best in Ogbomoso. There's not how anybody, when they come around, they see this, so do you have a place that is as beautiful as this in Ogbomoso? So, and I know that even the next one government is going to be better and more beautiful than this one. So just want to, you know, reach out to anyone, you know, that government is working and they have, you know, good plan for the people in terms of housing. So they should come and, you know, take up the opportunity to be a homeowner.
Our question for the week is, can someone who has attained 35 years in service and does not necessarily clock 60 years of age apply for his or her NHF fund?
The law is very specific in saying that the applicant for refund must be 60 years of age, but there is another provision which also says inability to make continuous contributions to the National Housing Fund. So in a case in which somebody has attained 35 years in service but has not attained the age of 60 years, we also make that provision for a refund to that individual because he has attained the maximum working length of time, which is 35 years in service. So in that case, we oblige a request for refund in such cases.
To improve transparency and accountability in managing the NHF funds, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has introduced *219#. *219# is a new way to know the status of your NHF contribution from anywhere. To use this service, dial *219#. Select 1 to update your contact detail. Press 2 to check your contribution status in any month up to the last 5 years. You can also use our mortgage calculator and bulletin board by selecting options 5 and 6 respectively. You can access other services by using direct shortcodes like *219*3# to retrieve your NHF number, *219*4*1# to check your last 5 transactions, and *219*4*2# to check your statement of account. No internet connection required, and it is available on all networks. *219#. Simpler, smarter, faster. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Everyone deserves a home.
Like we just heard from our beneficiary, you too can give the NHF scheme a trial and also tell your friends about it so they too can benefit from it. To get started, you can log on to our website on www.fmbn.gov.ng for more information on how you can get started. Why don't you make a date with us again next week, same time, on the same station for another exciting package from the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Until then, it's bye for now.